Hello, lovely. Today I'll be carrying out a colour analysis on you. We'll try a few different tones, shades, and textures. Some will suit you better than others. Thank you for wearing a neutral top. That really does help. Now, do you have any makeup on? Good. So, your hair, is this natural? Okay, what colour are you naturally? Okay. Okay, just have a look. Nice, soft, slightly warm. Very even. Okay, let me look at your brows. Is that your natural colour? Okay. Look at your eyes. Okay, just gonna get my light just so I can have a look. It will be bright, okay? Okay. Beautiful eye colour, nice blended and not high contrast, which is good. So everything does feel pretty balanced, alright. Okay, so just going to get this white piece of cotton, just place it there. Okay, let me just try that with different fabric. Okay. Okay, so we have a baseline, okay, which is our reference point. So let's have a look. So I'm going to try and do maybe a warm versus cool and see what's what. So I'm going to try like a nice little peach. Okay, this complexion quite well. Let me have a look. It's probably a bit too yellow, but let's try blue. Let's have a look. What about a pink instead of the blue? Oh. Okay, so less flattering, but let's put them together and have a look. Okay, definitely a difference there. Okay, so put that there. Okay, so I'm going to see what we've got. Okay. Right, so just going to use this kind of like champagne kind of colour rather than white, okay, in this satin material. I'm just trying to compare. Let's get them to the white. So this material is quite overpowering. Okay, that's not necessarily a good kind of look. Go back with this. So if you've got that and that. Okay. So this felt is actually quite flattering, very natural. I like that. Okay, so what we might do, cotton, I think it's going to be pretty good for you as a whole. Anybody wearing any kind of cotton, the fabric will go quite well. Alright, so I'm going to kind of mix and match between maybe felt and, you know, a couple of the other ones just to work through. But if you were going to wear something, I would say go for a cotton or a felt kind of material, or something a little bit different, not this satin type material. I think it's a little bit too much for you. Yeah, that'll be why. So if you lay off shiny and go more kind of matte. Alright, I think that kind of works better for you. So, okay. So you would want a soft fabric. Okay, a nice soft and matte would suit you well. Anything shiny, silky, like satin, silk, is going to be too bright and too overpowering for you. Alright, you want something a little bit softer, which is a lot more natural and a lot more flattering. Okay, so just nothing like this kind of material. Alright, I know it's probably not many things like that anyway, but just keep that in mind. You want more soft, matte kind of fabric. Okay. Okay, and you want to have things that are warm rather than cool. Okay, so you want warm things lift your complexion and cool things are less flattering. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's get some colours. I'm going to get some colours out that I think will be okay. And try it against others. Let's have a look. Okay. So let me have a look. Okay, that's two orange. Look at these. Bright, it's not really to you. Avoid bright colours, okay? Or soft colours. Okay, let me just double check. Yeah. Yeah, the bright, not doing it. Just double check another colour. Yeah. Yeah, they're reflecting too much of the colour onto you. So you're starting to turn that colour, if that makes sense. Like yellow, so you've got really yellowy green glow underneath. Alright. That's just not a good look. See, blue, and it's very washed out. Where is that colour? Aha, that might be good for you. Let's take that there. It's not too bad. Maybe a slight reflection. We'll just keep that. Yeah, okay. Just put that there. Okay. So I'm going to keep that to one side. Where is that brown? That way. There we go. Great job. It's not so good. I mean, black's quite a neutral colour. You could get away with it, you could wear it, but it doesn't do anything for you, as in, it doesn't enhance anything, it's not a wow factor. But you can wear black. Okay. Any kind of fabric, really, you could get away with. Yeah. Okay. So that. White, yes. So white you could get away with, but again, it doesn't. There's nothing about it, if you know what I mean. It doesn't. Nothing stands out. You don't look and you go, wow, if you know what I mean. So they're two colours that you could get away with, but they're not flattering, as in incredible. But if you had to wear black, it would suit you, and if you had to wear white, it would suit you. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So, no, I don't like that. What about the dark blue? Have a look. No, I don't like that. This, I bet, is too bright. Yeah, I don't like that. A bit of purple. I'm not sure about that. Right, okay. So. We want that, and where are you? I think you're an autumn palette, my love. Okay. So you could get away with anything really in the autumn palette, but then there's shades that are going to suit you better. All right. Okay. So let's have a look at these. Not too sure on that one. Okay, just go back with this one. Okay, so some colours that will be good for you, okay? We've got beige, cream, champagne, shades like that, okay? Camel, tan, browns, different shades of deep browns, olive, khaki, moss, peach, corals, terracotta, rust, mustard, a warm rose, maybe even a mauve. Okay. Yeah, then ones that wouldn't be as flattering would be things like icy blue, cool pink, lavender, neon colours, anything too bright, too orange, too reds, okay, hot pinks and things like that. And black and white, as I said, are not as good, but you could wear them. Okay. So I'm going to get my swatches. Just have a look. Let's find some of the colours that I've just mentioned to you. Okay. It's like a creamy colour. Yeah, it's like an off-white, something like that. So these kind of shades. Okay. Yes, like an ivory, things like that. Okay, so you can see, ignore the black, but those kind of shades, you know, you see you've got your like whites, kind of like grey white, pure white, different other shades of white. Okay, obviously not the pure white because that's not as flattering, but these kind of shades, that is probably a bit too grey for you, so you would remove the grey, but them ones are okay. Right, browns. Okay, so this shade, that should be quite nice for you. All right, and a couple of browns. Even that kind of terracotta colour. Let me just put them under your chin in a moment, see what we think. Okay, so that's good. That's like a coppery shade would be good. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so we've got some, yes, that colour is perfect for you. This colour, beautiful. Okay, then this kind of shades, these shades are really good for you. It's quite like a lot of these shades, let me just show you them. So you've got like your chestnut browns, got your red brown, nut brown, olive brown, fawn brown, copper brown, clay brown, different types of browns. They would work wonders for you. I know people sit there and think brown's boring, but there are so many different shades of brown. It's how you wear it, you know. So we want some olivey colours as well. So that's green beige, could get away with that, and beige obviously, so those two. Okay, no, that won't work, definitely not. No, too yellow, that might be good. That would be good, I like that. Let me just get those out of the way. It's way too yellow, we don't want that. That one's big, no. That's good. Maybe that shade, it's quite peachy, that would look nice. Like a peach colour. What have we got? I don't want nothing super orange, okay, but that could work. Like a burnt orange would be nice for you. Okay. These are way too bright. You think, yeah, that's awful, that one, isn't it? More peachy tones, corals, things like this. That'll be good. That's quite nice, and that would work as well. That one. Okay, let's have a look at these. So reds, it depends on the shade of the red. Let me just put these up against you and see which looks good. Okay. Maybe that shade. What is that one? Flame red. Yeah. Okay. Okay, these could work. Those. That one, yes, perfect. Love that. Love that. No, pink ruins that. That would go good. Coral red. Yep, that's fine. That's nice. Maybe too pinky. Yeah, they're too pink. I don't like those. Definitely not. Okay, that might work. That's good. Right, so it's these kind of shades, the pinky and the bluey kind of shades. That, however, could work. The red kind of violet shade. The blues and that are just not going to work. Let's go for the greens. Okay, certain shades of green. Okay, so we're wanting maybe forest green, bottle green, olive green. We have like a deep, like pea kind of colour. Okay. Like a khaki, like an army green. These ones are fantastic. Beautiful against you, they are. And nothing too pale either, no. I mean, you could get away with, like you said, your beiges and things like that. But if you're going to add colour, you know, some pastels might work, but it depends on the shade. Like this colour would look good on you. Yeah. Too bright, too bright, too bright. Too dark. That might work. What's that one? Fern green. Yeah, that's good. It's a nice one. This might be good. Deep. Yeah, that's good. That's a no from those. What kind of colour is that? Yeah. Okay. No. Okay, screen. Okay, so I'm going to show you now an example of worst and best together. Okay, so we've got this blue, alright, and we've got this brown. Okay, so if you have a look against you, alright, so the worst is blue, the best is the brown. Okay, yep. Then we've got an bright orange, you can see against you. Put it with this other colour and have a look. See, worst, best. Can you see the difference? Alright, and let's go in with this one. Okay, let's put it with that. See, worst, best. Okay, so you can kind of see the theme that's happening. All right, and then if we look at the fabrics as well, so we've got this will be your best, that will be your worst. But then if you look at the fabric and against you, can you see what I mean about it being overpowering and too bright? Okay, so I want to show you something now. The kind of colours that you would wear. So you are a autumn palette, okay? So there's a dark autumn, true autumn and soft autumn. I would say you're more of a true autumn, but you've definitely got colours from each palette that you can get away with. So let me just show you the first one. So that is the dark autumn, those kind of shades. Okay. Then we've got the true autumn. Okay. And then we've got the soft autumn. Okay. So you're definitely more of a true autumn, but some of the colours on others, you know, so all like the kind of the olivey greens, those shades are quite good for you. So the top kind of section here. All right, then the blues I'm not too keen on against you, and certain like pinks and reds were not good either. All right, you've got your paley colours at the bottom, which are really good. They will suit really well. Okay, and the soft autumn really is probably a bit more like pastel-y. I feel like you're better kind of in between. I feel like some of those are a little bit too pale, but if you're going to go for pastel colours, light colours, it will be something like that. All right, but you're kind of more on the true autumn, and definitely cross over with a lot of the dark autumn. All right, so we need to try and remember we want creams, beiges, champagnes, olives, khakis, browns, camels, tans, moss, peaches, corals, terracottas, rust, mustards, warm rose, mauves, that kind of shades. All right, and you want to avoid anything bright and anything too light, really, if you're going to be bringing in a colour. Like cool pinks, icy blue, lavenders, things like that are a no, and neons R-N-O. All right. So then quickly, I don't like to spend a lot of time on this section. I just like to go through some colours and see kind of things. So okay, these are some shades. Now I think they would work well for you. Alright, and these coppery kind of shades. Alright, not this and not that, and probably not that. Okay. These are probably a little bit too red, but you could probably pull a shade off. Okay. So, as these are a bit too purpley, alright, this is a bit too reddy. But these kind of coppery shades are nice, and the copper golden browns shades, they would work for you. Okay, these kind of shades would be quite nice. All right. I mean, you could get away with things like this, that kind of shade. Maybe these as well, but they're probably a little bit too dark on their own. I don't feel it would, you know, bring out your features. I think it would more like dampen it down a little bit. These blues and blacks, they're too dark in my opinion. Maybe something like that. This or this, or a bit of blends. It's like a balayage or highlights and lowlights and a mix in would look probably good. And anything too blonde is probably not the best choice on its own. If it was blended with different shades, as I suggested, it would probably work well. You know, something like that. Okay. So, yeah, but obviously I'm not a hairdresser, but they are the kind of shades and styles that would probably work for you. You've got like balayage, ombres, low and highlights. You want maybe like a mix of like a shade of brown and maybe different shades of browns or honeys. Maybe certain shades of blonde would go well. Nice kind of mix of kind of shades that would work well. Yeah. But the best person to speak to about hair would be a proper colour technician at a hairdresser's. Okay. Now, I said I don't do a lot about makeup, but when it comes to makeup, you could wear things like taupe, shades, maybe like different shades of browns, but not too dark and not too light. Okay, so it's finding that kind of middle ground. You could get away with some mauves, maybe rose colours, maybe like peaches. And when it comes to like things like blush, you'd want things maybe like a peach as well, and again rose kind of shades, and with like a bronzer, not too dark, not too light, just a nice kind of shimmer. And you don't want anything too shiny. All right, depending obviously on your makeup, whether you want a little bit of shine on the eyeshadow. But again, I'm not a makeup artist, so the best people to ask about that would be a makeup specialist. All right, but that's just from what I've put together and what kind of shades would work for you. I also think as well, when it comes to lipstick, you could get away with any kind of like darker shade, like brown. All right, matte would be nice, but I think you want more of a like a gloss kind of shade. Now, I did say avoid things like that are bright and shiny, but more with clothing. When it comes to lips, that's fine. Okay, so again, anything kind of rose, mauve kind of colours different shades of browns, clear, but it's not going to do a lot for you. But if you really wanted to just put a gloss on, a clear one, then that's fine. Avoid a bright red or anything like that. You want some pinky shades, okay, but nothing too bright, not neon. Okay, you could wear different shades of pink. Some's going to suit you better than others. And same with reds. You could probably get away with more of a coral orangey type red rather than a red. Okay. I hope that helps. Okay, so I will be writing everything up, my findings, and putting it all together for you in a report and giving you recommendations on fabrics, colours, and everything I've discussed about the hair and the makeup and that will be in it as well for you. Okay, but I'm just going to take a picture, so if you can keep nice and still for me. Okay, if you just turn your head that way, that's it. Back and that way. Good. Okay, what I'll do now as well is assess those pictures and go through the fabrics and have a look like that. And this session is obviously recorded, so I will be looking back and assessing, making sure that I'm happy with everything before I give you your full report. Alright, so I know there's been a lot of information, but at this stage, do you have any questions? Okay. All right, not to worry. Like I said, I'll do all that for you, and then if you do have any questions about the report, then you can get back to me. Okay. You're very welcome, my lovely, but I would go away, research about an autumn palette and have a look at the different shades, and you can go from there. You're very welcome. You take care now. Bye-bye.